Cam Ward will make the same type of jump as Drake Maye in year 2, but only if the Titans follow the same blueprint as the Patriots. During his rookie year, Cam Ward has shown plenty of the same flashes Drake Maye did during his first season. They both were able to push the ball down the field and consistently make good reads to keep the offense in rhythm. It's obvious Ward has the same potential to get the Titans organization back to being a force in the AFC like Maye has for the Patriots. However, just like Maye, Ward was thrown into an impossible situation, having to overcome a coaching staff already on the hot seat and a lack of talent around him. Thankfully for Maye, the Patriots ownership quickly realized their mistakes and took drastic steps to set their quarterback up for success in year 2. They followed a proven blueprint, and in response, Maye has become an MVP favorite and is leading the Patriots to the number 1 seed in the AFC. If the Titans want to see a similar jump from their young quarterback, then they'll need to follow that same blueprint. But exactly what blueprint did the Patriots follow? Well, it can really be broken up into 3 different steps, with the last step being the most important one. Obviously, everything starts with getting the coach right. The Patriots were able to land a proven winner in Mike Vrabel, but just as importantly, they were able to bring back Josh McDaniels, one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL, for another tour in New England. We already made a whole video about who we think the offensive genius is that they should bring in to be the Titans' new head coach, so I'm not really going to touch on it in this one. I'll just link it up here at the top right. After the coach is in place, though, the first step in the blueprint is to run the ball a lot, even if you're terrible at it. The Patriots have the 3rd most rushing attempts in the NFL this season, even with Drake Maye putting up MVP-type passing numbers. However, here's the twist. The Patriots may run the ball more than almost anyone else, but they've been one of the worst in the NFL at it. Which is crazy because they tried to upgrade their bad run game by using a high 2nd round pick on TreVeyon Henderson, who's actually a really good player, to make the run game more explosive, and they're still in the bottom half of the league in most statistical categories as a team. But then, why are they running the ball so much if they aren't getting much traction? That's simple. It creates an unstoppable passing game. Drake Maye, at the time of this recording, is 9th in play action attempts, and on those attempts, he's completing over 70% of his throws and has a 7-0 touchdown to interception ratio. The key to making play action passing work, though, is running the ball from under center. Operating the offense from under center does 2 things. First, it enables the running back to take better cut angles to maximize yards and keep the offense on schedule. But second, and more importantly, it doesn't tip off where the run is going, which sets up play action way better than operating on the shotgun. This creates the potential for huge open shots down the field because linebackers get pulled out of position, overcommitting to stopping the run. The Titans are in a similar boat to what the Patriots were. They already have an okay running back in Tony Pollard, but signing Brian Robinson would be a great free agent upgrade that would help the Titans get the run game out of neutral without really costing too much. He's a big, bruising back that is at his best in a gap scheme where he can run between the tackles and wear down linebackers and safeties. He has been heavily underutilized in San Francisco, and in some ways, he's been a more efficient runner this year than Christian McCaffrey. Just like drafting TreVeyon Henderson helped give Drake Maye an explosive play-action passing game, signing Brian Robinson would give Cam Ward the same thing. But drafting a running back obviously doesn't fix their entire passing game. Which takes me to step 2. Getting receivers into their proper roles. The Patriots receiving core was made up of solid players, but none of them were true number 1 receivers. But when the Patriots swapped Kendrick Bourne for Stephon Diggs, it gave them one of the best passing offenses in the NFL, and it made Drake Maye an MVP favorite. Here's the crazy thing though. Statistically speaking, Stephon Diggs isn't the same superstar receiver he was before he tore his ACL. He currently ranks 24th in receiving yards behind Michael Wilson, and is 32nd in targets next to Jacoby Myers. Not exactly mind-boggling numbers here. But then why did adding Diggs turn this whole passing game around? That's because he's been irreplaceable in one specific area. He catches everything. He is 2nd in the league at catching the ball when he's targeted at 82%, behind only Puka Nacua. He has become a dependable option for Maye underneath that is able to consistently sit down in open zones and catch everything that comes his way, keeping the offense ahead of the chains. The big thing here, though, is the effect that it's had on everyone else in the receiving room. Diggs being good at his role as Maye's safety blanket means that Boot was able to slide into his more natural role of being a deep threat and a red zone weapon, while Pop Douglas has been able to be a threat in the slot against man coverage. Drafting Carnell Tate would have the same effect on the Titans receiving room that Stephon Diggs had on the Patriots. Right now, the Titans have a lot of solid options at receiver, but no one stands out as a consistent, reliable weapon for Cam Ward to throw to. Tate has the ability and potential to be a number 1 receiver as a rookie. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised to see him in the conversation as one of the best receivers in the NFL by the end of his second year. Adding him to the roster finally gives Ward a true reliable playmaker on the outside and allows everyone else to slide into their more natural roles. But like I said before, adding Brian Robinson and Carnell Tate won't matter at all if the Titans don't get the most important step right. The final and most important step is to anchor the line. The Patriots revamped their offensive line to give Drake Maye more time to actually throw to the new weapons they brought in. They drafted Will Campbell and Jarrett Wilson to take over the left side and signed Morgan Moses and Garrett Bradbury to start at right tackle and center. Since they made those changes, their line has gone from being responsible for giving up the 4th most sacks to the 5th fewest. As a result, Maye has been able to push the ball down the field at a higher rate and with more success than anyone else in the league. However, this isn't a new concept to the Titans. They've been trying for years to fix their offensive line. They just spent a ton on Dan Moore Jr., Kevin Zeitler, and Lloyd Cushenberry. And before that, they drafted J.C. Latham and Peter Skoronski in the first round. Despite that, the Titans' offensive line is responsible for giving up the 2nd most sacks in the NFL. But then why did the Patriots overhaul work while the Titans didn't? That's because they whiffed on the most important position. Dan Moore currently ranks as one of the worst tackles in the NFL. He is tied for the 3rd most sacks given up and 4th most pressures allowed. I'm not sure why the Titans gave him a 4-year deal when the Steelers just used back-to-back first-round picks trying to replace him, but they need a better solution. Drafting Kadyn Proctor would give them an athletic freak at left tackle that can shut down edge rushers. There just aren't too many tackles on this planet that have the athleticism to take direct snaps at quarterback and line up out wide for a wide receiver screen. He can be a day 1 starter for this team, and his cheaper contract would offset Moore's until they can replace him after the 2026 season where he has no dead cap anymore. Sliding in Proctor as the left tackle of the future would help stabilize the entire line and give Cam Ward better protection to push the ball down the field. However, it doesn't matter if they perfectly follow this blueprint if they don't get the right coach to develop Cam Ward. But then, who is the perfect coach that could turn Cam Ward into a superstar? Well, we break that down in our video, which you can click on right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Emmett from the RFL Show, and I'll see you in the next video.